It wasn't until I found myself at home setting up a makeshift studio in my basement with no one around when it began to dawn on me. It wasn't until I was no longer boarding a plane to a scouting event each weekend until when no one was watching, until when that room filled with people in December were far away, that those 73 words in the oath of office began to challenge me more than I ever imagined.
Well, hello everyone and Happy New Year. I want to take some time to thank everyone that has helped make the Central Region so great this year and accomplished so much throughout 2020. The hardships that we've endured and every single curveball that 2020 has thrown us, we've continued to grow as a region and to the strength and endurance of every airman in the region. There are a lot of ways that we've been able to measure our success this year. Thanks to the Region Committee, we have some pretty impressive statistics to show some of our progress this year. With that being said, let's hear from some of our committee members reflecting on the year.
Throughout 2020, the Central Region has engaged with airmen, 390,000 through social media and 60,000 through email.
In spite of the cancellation of in-person events this year, our region has still found ways to thrive throughout this period by providing our airmen with incredible opportunities and events. 7 section conclaves and 7 ACT conferences were put on by our section this year. Along with that, our region also sent 241 airmen to Momentum Launch and 282 airmen to Momentum Spark.
Even with our struggles over this past year, our brotherhood continues to grow. 10,393 scouts and scouters have been recognized by their units for their dedication to the Scout Oath and Law, and were elected to our order during our 5,906 unit elections. Over the course of the year, we have held 238 ordeal ceremonies to induct these new members. We welcome all our new brothers.
For the first time in region history, we opened up our highest level of training, Section Officer Seminar, to all airmen. We trained 63 section officers and section advisors at 25 unique sessions, and even offered 6 sessions to all airmen. Over 1,200 chat messages were sent during SOS, and more than 3.6 million minutes of video and audio were transmitted.
Thank you all for sharing that information. I'm so proud of everything that we have accomplished this year, and I can't wait to see everything that the Region Committee continues to accomplish in the future. Some of our specific accomplishments throughout 2020 that I'm personally very proud of is first and foremost the development of our Region Committee. On the Region Committee, we have so many different ways for youth airmen to get involved and become better leaders, but more importantly, we have the opportunities to help our lodges and sections continue to grow more and more. We've also had several national virtual events to keep our airmen involved, and one of the things I've really enjoyed about that the most is being able to, one, interact with people I never would have been able to meet in person, but then also so many airmen that live, whether it's far away, from the driving distance of when we would have had these in-person events, have been able to attend this event that they otherwise wouldn't have. And I think that's a really unique thing to be able to see with these virtual events. And I'm really excited to kind of see that continue to happen, throughout 2021. Lodge level, every single lodge has had to adapt, some a little bit more than others. But I think the biggest thing that's been most impressive is figuring out ways to hold program virtually and continue to induct new members into the Order of the Arrow through that virtual setting. Our section officers seminar has allowed so many airmen, both within our section officers and advisors, to improve themselves, but then in the region as a whole, through our programs that were available to everyone, like public speaking and learning how to use Adobe, has been a really great thing to see everyone be able to be participated in, just another opportunity to connect with them. And beyond that, there's so much more. But I think the biggest thing that stands out to me from a lot of these different accomplishments is that there was nothing pre-written on how to do them, right? You know, in past things, let's take NOAC, for example. The National Order of the Arrow Conference has happened for many, many years. And so when you're planning National Order of the Arrow Conference, it's really easy to go back and kind of look on what's been done in the past years. And I think that's something that we've done for several years in the past for any lodge event, right? That you've had a lodge event before like that, and you can kind of work on years past and talk to anyone who has led that in the past to give you a better idea of what to do. But really, this year, with pretty much everything that our lodges, sections, and the region has done, we've made it from scratch, right? There's nothing that we've done before that tells us how to run a virtual event. And I think it's just really impressive to see all of the ways that we've adapted. And honestly, I think it goes to show that no matter what life throws us, we can accomplish anything as we bind together as Arrowmen and as a region and, you know, as the Order of the Arrow as a whole. I think another big highlight for my year has been being able to look back at all the friends I've made. I think specifically the officers, the other national officers and the region committee leads, a lot of them, I didn't know them when the year started, but by the end of this year, you know, I look back and I can think of them as some of my best friends in the world. And so it's really great to have been able to make those connections. And honestly, you know, some of the people I would never have been able to interact with otherwise. With my year ending and, you know, me kind of moving on into other things besides being the region chief, I just wanted to say that if there's anything I can ever do to help anyone, you know, I'll always be able to be reached at the same email, 2020chief@central.oa-bsa.org. So I'm excited to continue to be able to help in any way that you could possibly need me for. But, you know, with that being said, I'm really happy to welcome and introduce you to Terry Hendricks, our 2021 Central Region Chief, which will also be a really great resource for anyone that's looking to get involved with the region or, you know, have a little bit of help. I've actually known Terry for over 2 years now, and throughout that time, he's only continued to impress me more and more. So really, I honestly can't put into words how excited I am to see him lead the region throughout this next year. And in talking with him throughout the national planning meeting and after that, I've learned that he already has some really great plans for the region and how to improve it. But really, I think that's enough for me. There's nobody better to introduce himself and talk about these plans than Terry. And so I'm really happy to hand things over to your 2021 Central Region Chief, Terry Hendricks.
Like you said, my name is Terry Hendricks. I am from Woonasquan Lodge, that's located in Central Illinois, as a part of Section C3A. So that kind of covers Central Illinois up into Iowa. I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 1142 and a Vigil Honor member from Woonasquan Lodge. And I am currently a student at the University of Illinois studying political science as well as environmental sustainability. So first off, Happy New Year's, everybody. I know we are all finally excited to get 2021 started, but with that, I'm excited to lead the Central Region family this year. 2021 is going to be filled with a variety of innovative opportunities for our organization. And after having worked closely with so many section and lodge leaders already throughout the region, I know that we will be the region that steps up to the plate and the leaders that ensure a strong future for the Order of the Arrow. So as we conclude our meeting, let's hear the words of Dr. Goodman. Dr. Goodman's words never cease to be applicable to any situation we find ourselves in. In this most unique of times, Dr. Goodman's words will inspire our work for the year ahead. Thank you.
Well, my brother, one is always at a loss somewhat to how to speak about the future. As a representative of a brotherhood of cheerful service, it starts with this statement: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now that's quite a challenge for the young citizens of tomorrow. The educational level of the United States, the health of our countrymen, the matter of our foreign relations with other countries, and adequate transportation in crowded cities, and things of that nature. I think it's a wonderful idea that representatives of our order should be discussing what they can do to protect those preciously important qualities: the cure of one thing, the correction of another, the care for such things as were mentioned out of the Declaration of Independence. It gives me heart as I look to the future of our order and our country. And I am fully persuaded that our men, with the background they have had over the past 60 years or more, will be in a pretty good condition to give conscientious thought to those vital questions as to the next 100 years for our country. I commend them to you, my brothers of the order, and to all who believe in our country and want to steer us into the right channels in the years of the next century.
Happy New Year from the Central Region Order of the Arrow.
Happy New Year's from the Central Region Order of the Arrow.
Happy New Year from the Central Region Order of the Arrow.
Happy New Year from the Central Region Order of the Arrow.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.